Okay, so we have this little bird, and I need to change it into a violet color or purple color. And I did try to do it in Canva, but when I did that, it changed the tone and the hue of everything else. So I'm just going to show you how I brought it into Paint. Now I'm using 3D Paint, but regular paint, and you get it for free with Windows. All you need to do is to come down here and type in Paint, and it should pop up. So what I'm going to do is change it into a purple. So I'm going to click on the bucket, because that's the way I want to do it. And I'm going to choose a purple, and then I'm going to double click on that to get, I want more of like a violet kind. Yeah, maybe a little bit deeper like that. Yeah. And then I am going to just click, because I have the paint bucket, I'm just going to click on the blue, and that changed that. And then what I want to do is I want to make this part a little bit darker. So I am going to go back over here to this color and come down to keep it in the same hue and the same family. I'm just going to come down a little bit deeper, say okay, and then I'm going to click on the pink, see what that gives me. And then I'm going to click right here to get it better. Oops, don't want that. So Control Z will take me out of that. And then I am going to, actually I'm going to go back a minute. I'm going to, I don't like the way these dots are. So I'm going to go up here under Shapes, Circle, and then I'm just going to do a dot. And then I'm going to fill it with white, and I'm going to take the line off of it, so I'll do none. And then I'm going to right click, copy, right click, paste, or you can do Control V, Control C. And then I'm going to size it so that they're smaller. And what I'm trying to do here is put it on top of these guys so that they're a little bit better. Then I'm going to do this guy, make him smaller. And then I'm going to go back to the brushes, back to the paint bucket, and this time I'm going to do white, and I'm going to click in there to make them a brighter white. Can't really see it, but it'll print better that way. You can see there it just now turned it brighter white. And I'm going to do the same thing for these guys. So they're just a little bit brighter. Otherwise, it'll still print, but it won't print as nice. Okay, and then I'm going to go for the purple again. Make it a little bit darker. And I'm going to click there. And that looks good. And I'm going to touch this up by getting the pencil. And I hope you can see that I'm just going pixel by pixel to clean that up a little bit. And there are other programs that you can use. I'm not that good at this stuff, but Paint is pretty easy to learn, and there's not a lot of pain trying to figure it out. Okay, so I like that better. And actually, I think I want that into the yellow too. So let's click back to the purple. Go there. Yeah. And then I'm going to click there, there, and there. And I'm just picking up all the little spots that have the yellow. And then I'll go back to my pen, make it a little bit bigger of a swap so that I can just pick up these guys. And you know, some stuff doesn't show up when you print, so don't worry about it, but other stuff does. That would just show up as like a speck. Okay, and then if I wanted to get rid of, okay, maybe I'll put that same purple right here. Yeah, I like that. And then get rid of the pink altogether. Make it all purple. Yes, I like that. And then I'll go back to the pen and I will clean that up. And you can zoom in. I'm just using my mouse to zoom in to catch it all the right way. And paint lets you take away the background. Paint lets you crop it. Okay, so then what do I want to do with that? I think I'm just going to fill that in. We'll try. Okay, I'm picking up the dropper and I'm going to pick up this lighter color and just try to get rid of this blue. Sometimes it'll work and sometimes it'll bleed into this. So I'm going to try it. We'll see. Ah, that worked. Okay, and then I don't know. I'm going to kind of leave that there, and I'm going to get rid of this. And then this, to me, just to show you another feature of paint, let me see, get rid of that. I use the dark instead of the light, so I need to pick up the dark again. Okay, so this looks a little ragged to me, so I'm going to show you a way that I clean it up. I come up here under shapes, and then I will pick these shapes, and I will click right here to right here, and then it'll let me drag it so that I can be in the right spot. It's just an easier way to kind of clean it up a little bit. And then I will do the same thing over here. Just to clean it up, I'm going to attach it to the last one and bring it out a little bit. And then I will change that color to the same purple. Okay, so let's try that. Then I'm going to go back to the brush, go back to the bucket, pick up this color, and then hold my breath and hope that works. It did. So it just made it a lot better. I'm going to fill that in now. So you can end up working on it a lot, or you can work on it a little. I'm just going to try to show you some of the features of paint. But that cleaned it up and made it look a whole lot better. Okay, and then I noticed his eye. I'm going to put it into a brighter white. And that'll print better. And then to crop when you're in here, and if you wanted to get rid of this white, you could do that too. I'm going to kind of leave that just for this example. I'm going to go up under crop, and I'm going to bring it, let me see, get it smaller on the screen. I'm going to crop it down. If I crop it in Paint and then bring it to Bartender, it stays. If I crop in Canva and download it and bring it into Bartender, it does not stay. And then I'm going to say done. Notice here, you've got your pixels, so you can save it with different pixels, which makes it a better one. And now we're going to go up and save. Oh, I know what else. I want to give him a little bit of pink on his cheek. So I'm going to pick this spray can and this pink. And then I'm just going to give it a little bit of pink right here. There. And now I'm going to do File, Save As, Image, And, okay, it's going to be Violet Bird one because I've already done this once. All right, and then what I want to do is for this particular, let me see if I can find it here. For this particular customer, she wanted my bird, but she wanted it with the purple. That's not the one I want. That's the one I already did. She wanted this flower set to go with it, but she wanted it in the purple that I just used. So what I did was I brought in that bird. Let me find that bird again. The bird. This is the one I actually did. So I'm just going to bring that bird into this picture on paint. I'm going to make it very, very small in the corner just so that I can pick up the colors and do color matching. And then I can delete it when I'm done. Okay, so now I'm going to pick up my dropper. And I'm going to pick the color I want. I could pick up the dark, I could pick up the light, and then I'm going to drop that color right here and on the leaves so that that matches. And then I'm going to pick up the dropper again, and I'm going to pick up the darker color, and I'm going to use it here. And then I'm going to use that same darker color in the center here, and then I want the lighter one there. So again, I'm going to pick up the dropper, go to the bird, and that's my color matching. It makes it so much easier. And now I'm done with this guy, so I'm going to select and delete, and now I can crop the flowers, and now my flowers will match my bird. Just really, paint is just very nice and powerful. And again, you know, you're looking at your pixels, how good your pixels are. And then I'm going to file save that. All to say that at the end, this is what they look like. So these are chocolate chip. But they printed really well, and they match.